Well, it arrived early. This is the radio that I've been talking about, and for those of you that are into four-wheel drive and off-road type activities, GMRS has pretty much replaced CB as the standard form of radio communication. And my prior radio was a Midland MXT500, and been kind of waiting for the 500 here to be released, and it's here. So I'll be getting some stuff prepared here soon, and we'll continue this with the install. Alright, so I wasn't really going to go through and do a whole review of all of the things here, but I wanted to go ahead and give people an idea of what comes in the packaging when you get the new MXT500. So as you can see, right here we have the radio, little instruction booklet, microphone. This is a ferrous plate that has a sticky back on it, so you can adhere this to the vehicle someplace for the magnet mount antenna right there. Comes with a snazzy sticker, mounting hardware for the bracket, spare fuse, microphone clip right there, along with a sticky back for it to adhere it to some part of the interior, and then the power cord. So figured give everyone a quick once over on the parts. I'm going to do something a little bit different. I already have the radio in my Jeep, so I had gotten the 6 dB antenna for it and the Midland 6 dB antenna, which would actually work on this magnet mount. I'm going to build a completely different bracket for it, and we're going to build a custom length cable so that we don't have a whole bunch of extra in there. So I'm going to go over the fabrication of the bracket, and I'm going to go over how to make a cable, solder the ends, and test it for continuity and make sure it's good to go. So one more step in the process, and next we'll go out and take a look at the vehicle and see what the existing radio looks like and what we're all going to have to do to get this radio prepped and put in. So this right here is the driver's A-pillar bracket, where I currently have the Midland 3 dB ghost antenna, whatever they want to call it. What I'm going to end up doing is build a custom bracket that is going to mount back off of these studs here. Get you close up right in there. That is going to extend out past here, and then the antenna is going to sit in this space right there. So that way when I put a light on there, it goes forward, antenna's behind it, and then I have less in the way. One thing we noticed when I put this on was there's a little bit of rake to this bracket, and it wants to shoot down and forward. So the additional bracket I build for the antenna right here, I'll be able to take and level it so that the antenna sticks straight up instead of pointing forward looking like a big goober. So here's the existing radio that's installed. It's a MXT500. So we're going to be replacing this radio here with the 500. It's going to mount in the same place. On the back side, however, the Coax and the power connectors are on opposite sides on the new radio. So we'll be making some slight adjustments in running those lines. The Coax is going to stay on the driver's side, power is going to stay on the passenger side. However, the new power cord is completely different. It doesn't have the typical T connector that mobile radios use, so it has more of a MetroPack, micropack looking connector, and the power connector actually runs across and then down the passenger A-pillar underneath the grab handle, and then pops out down yonder. So and then the
Going across this side, boom, is where the coax goes through, and then we're going through the firewall down there. Have the handy CB bar from Way of Life. They made in here in the USA. This was a super awesome deal. It works great, and this thing is so sturdy. I have to remind passengers to not use it as a grab handle because it is so solid. But it gets the radio mounted up here out of the way so that it's not, being a problem, and super cool. So there we go for that. Okay, so we're going to start working on the bracket for putting the new antenna mount on the Jeep. So we're out here in the garage, and I did a little CAD drafting. That is cardboard aided drafting, and kind of mocked up the part that we're going to put onto a piece of angle iron here. So we'll take some shots of that. So what we got here is this template that I've got laid up, and gonna mark it out here, use a die grinder to cut it out, and hopefully you guys will see what that looks like here in just a second. So here's the template after I got it marked out onto the metal, and I'm gonna go ahead and start cutting it up. Alright, so here's the basic shape. It's this is what it's going to look like from the side. I'm going to drill a hole right here, and then this is going to go in behind that bracket on the Jeep, and that's going to be pinned there, and then we'll level this surface, and then we'll drill a hole here in the bottom, so wherever that winds up being once this is determined level, and then we'll drill a hole here in the center, and that's where the mount for the cable, oops, there we go, that's where the mount is going to go through for the antenna. So just took a basic piece of angle iron. It is a little thick. All they had was 3/16. I was hoping to get some 1/8 inch, but they didn't have any. So this is what I wound up with. It is what it is, but it's going to work good, and it certainly will be stout enough. So probably do a little bit more finish grinding on it and refining before I start drilling holes in it, which is coming up. I think we're going to cut this video into 2 parts, so this is the end of our first half. When you guys next see the bracket, it'll be drilled and painted, and we'll film installing it and start doing the installation of the radio and pick up from there. So I want to thank everyone for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, smash the like button, and we'll catch you in the next video.